Hi guys, welcome back to my channel For Your Heart and Home. Today I'm sharing a new recipe with you. I am sharing a hamburger bun recipe that is perfect for the summer, for barbecues, for cookouts, anything that you're doing in your kitchen. You just want a very quick, easy recipe to use. This recipe can be made in your bread machine, and I'll show you how I do that here. For this recipe, I'm using kamut or Korjan wheat as well as hard white wheat. I've never shared, I don't think, making anything with Korjan wheat on here before, and so I wanted to share that with you today. It's a very simple recipe, very straightforward. I'm going to be using a half and half recipe, so I'm going to use half hard white wheat and half Korjan wheat, and then we're going to pull these hamburger buns together. They can be used for anything really. You can use them for a traditional hamburger sandwich, or you can use them for peanut butter jelly sandwich, whatever works for you. I just like these buns. They're tasty, they're soft, and they're very versatile. So let's get into it. This recipe calls for 4 cups of freshly milled flour, so I'm going to start by doing that. 2 cups of hard white wheat and 2 cups of Korjan wheat. So let's get started by doing that first. Alright, this is what my flour looks like. Again, this is a mix of hard white wheat and Korjan wheat. Korjan wheat is also called kamut. Either one, it's the same wheat that we're referring to. Alright, I'm using about 1.5 cups of water. This is room temperature water. And then I already added my honey, about 1.5 teaspoons of salt. I'm adding all this to my bread machine bowl because I'm going to be mixing this dough in my bread machine. Here on my channel, I show you how to use your bread machine to make many delicious foods in your kitchen using freshly milled flour. I'm also going to be adding about 1.5 tablespoons of oil. I'm using grapeseed oil today, but you could use olive oil or you could use avocado oil. Now I'm going to add my dry ingredients. With a bread machine, you usually have to put the wet ingredients on the bottom of your bowl. So I have my water, my oil, my salt, my honey already in the bowl. Now I'm adding my flour. And this looks like way more than 4 cups of flour, but you saw me measure it into my Nutrimill Harvest, and because fresh milled flour is a lot fluffier, it looks like more flour than it really is. So I have my flour in here. Now I just need to add a few more add-ins. I'm going to be using 2 tablespoons of Vital Wheat gluten. This is just going to add some structure to my hamburger buns, and then I'm going to be using 1 tablespoon of barley malt powder. These are both going to be optional. If you don't want to add those, or if you don't have those in your pantry, by all means don't go out and get them just to get them. This is just adding a little bit more flavor, and it's going to help with the fermentation of my dough. So that was 1 tablespoon of barley malt powder and 2 tablespoons of Vital Wheat gluten. And then I'm just going to be adding my 1 3/4 teaspoon of yeast. This will go in my bread machine for the next 1.5 hours, and then when it is ready for shaping, I will bring you back and show you the next step. Alright guys, I'm bringing you back. It is time to shape these hamburger buns. I'm going to get a little bit of oil on my hands, and my goal is to get about 8 to 10 buns out of this dough. What you can do is weigh the dough if you would like and divide it by the amount of buns you'd like to make. My dough is very soft, and I'm going to use soft hands to shape this dough. It's also kind of sticky, so trying to work quickly. I don't usually like to do this, but I'm just pulling some of the moisture out of my dough. So my dough over fermented slightly, which is okay. As you can see, I'm pulling it back. Going to add some more oil to my hands and proceed with shaping. Because I added that extra flour, my buns are going to be slightly gritty, which is okay, but I'm using the oil to soften that new flour that I just added. All right, feels a lot better, and I have a better handle on this dough. All right, here we go. Here's my second bowl. Alright guys, so as you can see, I was struggling with my dough a little bit. It got over fermented because I stepped away from the kitchen, and I want you to see the difference. So this bun was not given any new flour, so you can see that this one is still smooth on the outside, but I had to use some extra flour on these, and hopefully you can see that it's a little bit gritty on these, and I could bake them just like this and it will be just fine. But I want to ensure the best outcome. So what I'm going to do is just take a little bit of grapeseed oil. You can use avocado, you can use olive oil, and I'm just going to do an oil wash. Again, I want to make sure that that new flour has some opportunity for hydration, and so that's just going to help. If you want to do an egg wash, you could absolutely do that here as well. We're just not big fans of egg washes, so you're not going to see me doing a lot of egg washes on this channel, but an oil wash is just fine in this case. And now while my oven comes up to temperature, I will just cover these with a damp tea towel. I do not want to pull any more moisture out of this dough. Cover with a damp tea towel and get it into the oven in about 10 minutes or so, just giving it time to rest, relax. So while I let this relax, I'll work on the rest of the dough. So if you have over fermented dough, do not worry, you can pull it back. If you just follow a few tricks and steps. As you can see, this is not very bad anymore. It's not too sticky anymore, and I should be able to shape these easily. So even in the best of intentions, sometimes we do make small mistakes, but that's okay. It's all part of the learning process. Okay, again, I had to add some flour to these, so maybe you can see on camera that these You can see the difference between the new flour and the flour that has had a chance to hydrate. So I'm going to do the oil wash here just to give these buns a little bit of a boost to ensure that it doesn't come out gritty. And you're going to bake these up like you normally would any hamburger bun. So I'm just going to give these all a wash, and then I'll bring you back when they're all baked up, and I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. All right, these are ready to go. All right guys, the first set of these hamburger buns are done, so I'm just going to put them here to cool down, and then I'll check on the next set. So not the perfect bun, but they're definitely cooked through and will make for a wonderful sandwich. All right, so let me show you how we like to enjoy these. So here you go, fully cooked inside. I have some white cheddar cheese here. I'm just going to put a piece of cheddar cheese on each. Pepperoni. Alright, so we're making sandwiches here. I have one who doesn't want eggs, so that sandwich is done. One who doesn't want cheese, and one who wants everything. Alright, so I just have some eggs here. I'm going to pop these in the oven for a few minutes so that the cheese can melt. Alright, so these buns can be used for pretty much anything. Simple peanut butter sandwich, or I'll show you the rest of the egg sandwiches as well. Alright, our sandwiches are ready. In this one I have some cheese, eggs, and a pepperoni. This looks amazing. I'm so ready to dive in and have a very quick lunch. Also could be used for a quick peanut butter sandwich, or any variation of your choice. have some eggs and some pepperoni, or some cheese and some pepperoni. Alright guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for being you. Remember to share this video with anyone who enjoys scratch cooking or cooking with freshly milled flour. Feel free to subscribe and leave a comment down below. Let me know if this is something that you will be trying anytime soon in your kitchen. As always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.